The ninth video for chapter 8, accounting for share capital. Today we will take reissue of forfeited share topic. In the previous video we had discussed about the forfeiture of shares when there was non-payment of allotment or call money. Now the company or the directors have the option to either cancel those forfeited shares or to reissue them. We will be discussing here reissue of those shares, okay, forfeited shares. Now these forfeited shares can be reissued at par, premium or discount. Now earlier we had studied that when the shares are issued they cannot be issued at discount, but the forfeited shares can be reissued at discount, and the discount allowed cannot exceed more than the amount forfeited, okay. So in this context it may be noted, okay, while I am talking about the third point, when the forfeited shares are issued at discount, it may be noted that the amount of discount allowed cannot exceed the amount that has been received on forfeited shares, or we can say the amount which is there in the forfeited share account per share, okay. The discount on each share cannot exceed the amount received on those forfeited shares, okay. The discount allowed on reissue of forfeited shares should be debited to forfeited share account. When the shares were forfeited, the amount paid by them, the forfeited shareholders paid the amount on application or allotment that was credited to the forfeited share account. Now that account will be debited to allow the discount on reissue of forfeited shares. And if the balance is left any balance is left in the forfeited share account, it will be transferred to capital reserve. It is treated as a capital gain, so it will be transferred to capital reserve account. Now let's understand these points by solving one illustration, and again we will discuss all these points. The directors of PP Limited resolved that 200 equity shares of 100 each be forfeited for non-payment of the second and final call. That means 100 rupees share is there. Out of the 100 rupees, 30 rupees is not received. That means 70 rupees was received. That 70 will be forfeited, okay. And out of that 150 shares are reissued, okay, at 60. That means 40 rupees discount is allowed. 40 rupees discount is allowed. So the working, total number of shares forfeited was 200. On those 200 shares, 70 rupees will be forfeited. See, 30 rupees was not received. 100 minus 30, 70 rupees is the amount forfeited. 70 rupees on 200 shares, the total amount forfeited is 14,000 rupees, okay. So on 150 shares at the rate of rupees 70, it will be 10,500. That means the maximum amount of discount which can be allowed on reissue is 10,500, or in another words we can say the maximum amount of discount which can be allowed on each reissued share is 70 rupees, okay. So what is the discount? The shares are reissued at 60. The value is 100. 100 minus 60 is 40 rupees. So the discount allowed on 150 shares at the rate of rupees 40 is 6,000 rupees. We can allow 10,500. We have allowed only 6,000. So what is the capital gain? It is 4,500. 10,500 minus 6,000. It is 4,500 is the gain, capital gain. It will be transferred to capital reserve. Okay, this point, last 2 points we will discuss later on, okay. Now journal entries. Share capital, account debit on 200 shares at the rate of rupees 100, 20,000 rupees will be cancelled or reversed. To share forfeiture, in the previous page we had discussed that at the rate of rupees 70, on 200 shares will be forfeited. 14,000 rupees will be forfeited. And the non-payment was on 200 shares at the rate of rupees 30, 6,000 rupees. Okay. So to share second and final call, the entry is reversed. Now we are reissuing 150 shares at the rate of rupees 60. So 150 into 60 is 9,000 rupees. And the amount of discount allowed will be debited to share forfeiture 6,000 rupees. 150 into 40 rupees. Okay. In the previous page we have shown the calculations. To share capital account 15,000 rupees. 150 into 10 rupees. Second entry is for reissue. Then the third entry for transfer to capital reserve. Share forfeiture account debit to capital reserve 4,500. Now see all of you, 200 shares are forfeited at the rate of rupees 100. Share capital is debited by 20,000 rupees. In the previous page we had discussed that on 200 shares 70 rupees is paid, so that amount will be forfeited. 14,000 will be forfeited. For non-payment, the share second and final call will be credited, reversed. Okay, so 30 into 200 is 6,000 rupees. Now the maximum discount which we can allow on 200 shares is 14,000 rupees. Okay, 70 rupees each, but we are reissuing only 150 shares. So 150 into 70, it will be 10,500. We can allow a maximum discount of 10,500, but we had allowed a discount of 6,000. So 10,500 minus 6,000, the profit is 4,500. That is transferred to capital reserve.